Well, hello there, small group leaders. I really hope you're well. I was praying this morning and actually felt myself led by the Spirit just to do a quick message to you about a specific, very important thing that I think you guys, if you really take to heart and action in the result of, could make a massive difference. The first thing just to say is this, just by way of encouragement. When I was recently on CCB, I'm learning the ropes, I just went down the list of small group leaders at this church. And I know I'm an enthusiast, but my word, what a group of Rolls Royce leaders you are. I was absolutely blown away. And I have to confess, the church is getting quite large now. I didn't know all of you guys who are in leadership were in leadership. And I just thought to myself, I felt very humbled. I thought, Lord, I cannot believe there is this group, this huge group of amazing leaders who are each willingly, joyfully, cheerfully leading small groups. The reason the church is as it is in huge measure is because of you. And I want to thank you with all of my heart for deploying your leadership gift in the way that you do, week in, week out, and having a phenomenal impact on the lives of this church. So thank you. And I want to bring to you something that's really on my heart, really without being, sort of culturally groovy for the sake of it. The term culture is a current term being used a lot in the world, but particularly also in the Christian world. And it's this great description of not just a few people, but the whole church family having certain flavours. And my hope and my desire is that the church culture will be something that you prize as much as me. And one of my slight concerns is, as the church gets bigger, we can kind of think, well, particularly when we gather on Sundays, it's kind of someone else's thing really, and my little presence here or not is not that big a deal. And as we have moved particularly to the Langton and are now 3 meetings over 2 locations, it is so key really that you guys are leading the charge in terms of being at the meetings that you go, the 9, the 10:30 or the 11. You're there not just kind of even on time, but I would implore you to work really hard at getting there early. There are 3 reasons. Number 1, because of mission. Just very recently, we started the 9 o'clock meeting and there was hardly anyone in the room, and I was talking to a lady, I won't mention her name, brand new, she'd come 1 week before on the journey to faith, and she was sitting on the 2nd row completely on her own with about 3 rows of emptiness behind her. And I wanted to cry, if I'm honest with you. I thought, this is the just most rubbish welcome for her. Now the welcome team had done great, but the church family was nowhere to be seen. By 9:15, of course, the place was relatively full, but for mission's sake, she had had a bit of a strange, weird, awkward beginning. Guys, can we go for it in terms of being there on time because of mission? Secondarily, because of fellowship. The church family is a hugely prized thing, and I would encourage you, I think one of the things I love about this church, and others have noted about this church, is that we're not just about the meeting. We are passionate, and there's a bubble and there's a kind of fizz and an excitement both before the meeting but after. And I would just encourage you guys, every week, every day, we get to work probably 8 o'clock, 7:30. But when it comes to Sundays, for some bizarre reason, 9 o'clock is seen as this radically early time, or 10:30 in Whitstable. And I would just encourage you guys, please be there so that before the meeting you can maximise your time connecting with those who are part of the church. Fellowship, family is massively important, particularly in the Canterbury location where there's a short turnaround time between the 9 and the 11. There's no way that time alone is going to be enough for fellowship. So can you encourage your small groups to get there early. 15 minutes would be ideal, so we've got time not just for mission but also for family, for being together. So the amount of incidental conversations that happen before a meeting or after a meeting that are life-changing, a word of wisdom that you happen to just say to someone and they go, that was the thing, more than even the sermon or the worship time, that changed my whole week. Please, can I encourage you guys to really hear our heart as an eldership? We really want to have an atmosphere so that it's actually conducive. We've paid a huge amount of money. We've moved heaven and earth all week in terms of organising the different things. It's so key that in terms of maximising our friendship time together, that is something that you value as well, and you stand with us in terms of getting there early. The other thing I'd say is the third reason is because of honouring our teams. You know, we've got particularly worship teams getting there very early, PA teams, projection teams, bookshop teams, setup teams. They're all there, 50, 60, 70 of them, often from 7 in the morning. And it's just kind of, it doesn't honour them if when they start the first song and then they're into the second or even the third and the place is just beginning to fill up. You know, we really need you guys just to say, yeah, look, we're a family, and so we're going to honour those guys who have got there much earlier by being there 10 minutes early. And so when we hit that first note, we are ready to go. Connected with this, I'd also say really practically, can I encourage you guys to sit nearer the front? I don't know why on earth it is, but increasingly we're just spotting there's kind of the first row, normally got elders and stuff on the front and people are doing stuff, but then there's kind of a few blank rows and it's just a bit weird. So can I just encourage you guys, unless maybe it's that I smell, maybe the elders and the other senior leaders have bad perspiration, in which case please tell us, but I don't think that is it. Please come nearer the front. You know, the front rows are not holy. And actually, I love you guys and I want to be close to you. I want to see you. I want to hug you. I want to be a family together. I don't want everyone sitting near the back. It's weird. And if we've come all that far and that distance, come on, please come to the front. Don't make us have to say it from the front every week. Yeah? Thank you so much, guys. I don't want to be remotely heavy, but I'm talking to you as leaders who get it. You understand that we are about building the Church of Jesus Christ. And the world is watching, and how we conduct ourselves practically in terms of timekeeping, in terms of where we sit, in terms of coming ready to participate. These make all the difference in the world. And I want to thank you for hearing this in the right way. And I know that you will continue to be a blessing to your leaders by saying, I get that. I'm going to stand with you guys. I'm going to own this meeting as much as anyone else, so that if my friends come, or when they come, who don't know Christ, they aren't sitting in a kind of strange row with no one at the front and no one arriving for 15 minutes. Guys, thank you for listening. I will rant no more. I love you to bits. I'm so proud to know you as friends and to have you as amazing leaders in this church. Lead your small groups with grace and kindness, but strength into this, and I believe it will make a huge difference. God bless you, love you loads, see you really soon.